Thanks for tuning in. This is the Tammy Tine Design YouTube channel. I'm Tammy, and today I'm creating a one-page layout featuring 2 photos and repeating hearts. For this layout, I've pulled 3 pattern papers. Wildflower from the Woodland Grove collection by Maggie Holmes. This paper is called Make a Splash from the Royal Collection Pack from Keep It Simple that I picked up at the Scrapbook and Stamp Expo. This is a really nice cardstock, similar to the paper texture used by Cartabella. This is a nice medium blue, and the back has a solid distressed look. I'll be using the floral side, and for the background, I'll be using Grandma's Wallpaper on the B-side from the Flower Child collection by Jen Hatfield. I went with these papers because we're in an outdoor setting in the photos with bamboo behind us, and I thought that this wildflower could kind of help bring that out. And there's some blue in that paper, and Michael's also wearing a blue shirt, so I thought that would be a good accent color. I also wanted a wood grain paper because we were sitting under a pergola and there was a fence behind us. So all of these papers are helping reinforce the setting from the photos. Do you enjoy videos that show the actual selection process? I've been thinking about showing more about my process and how I match my photos to select the pattern papers for my layouts. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see more of. I do have a few things on my tray. I've added my title to wax paper and have it ready to go. The title for this page is Date Night. I also have these puffy flower stickers from the Flower Child collection. I thought the colors were a good match back to my papers. I will be adding several of these to my layout. I have a variety of colors of enamel dots to sprinkle in at the end. I was hoping to use the wood grain ones, but they never make it onto the layout. My journaling is already printed on a block of white cardstock. I'm also using these colorful hearts. This is a cut file I created, and I'll talk about that more in a moment. I also found this metal die in my stash. I believe this was made by Paper Smooches. I've had it for years. I cut these swirls out of a dark green cardstock. I don't know yet how many I'll need, so I just cut a bunch of them and have them ready to go. I thought it would be fun to bring in a different shape to add some interest and movements with all of the hearts I'll be stacking up. So back to my hearts. This collection is called Mixed Hearts, and it comes in 5 different styles. And I already have a variety of them printed and inked. The first one is a small heart within a larger heart, so it's actually 2 different heart pieces. This one comes in 2 halves and is sliced down the middle. This one is cut into 4 pieces, and this one is also 4 pieces, but vertical slices. And the last one is in 3 pieces, with the slices coming down in a diagonal. I wanted something that could visually express having all of the pieces of our hearts together. I had a broken heart long before Michael and I met. He went through a lot of stuff before we met. But somehow in this relationship, we found a way to gather up all of our various pieces and put everything back together in a new way. That's what these hearts are about for me. I cut the hearts with my silhouette in different sizes. The machine cuts the heart into all of the different pieces. Then I used Tim Holtz oxide inks in Brushed Corduroy, Kitsch Flamingo, Shabby Shutters, and Stormy Sky to ink each heart in a different color before I took them off the cutting mat. After the ink dried, I mixed them all up in different combinations, and I laid them out on the table ink side down and added double-sided tapes to the back to put them together. I don't always share the inspiration for my cut files. There is usually something that inspires me to make them. This one was special and unique, so I wanted to share those details. So now I'm going to cut and ink my papers with gathered twig distress ink, and then I'll be back. So here's the design of my page. My 2 photos are 3 by 5 inches, so the wildflower paper is cut to 5.5 by 12 inches. The blue strips are 1 inch wide apiece and tucked under, so all you're seeing is 3/4 of an inch on each side of that wildflower paper. The wood grain paper in the background is 12 inches. This is going to be a playful layout with my repeating hearts as the majority of the embellishment. My plan is to layer them up on each side of the photos so that all of the paper is running vertically and the embellishment will fill in horizontally. My title will go centered down below the photos, and I'll add my journaling in among the layered hearts. For now, I'm going to start laying the hearts and see how much room I have. I didn't measure these prior, I just cut them into different sizes to have a variety. It's going to take me a bit to figure out where I want all of these hearts to go, and as I usually do, I'll rearrange them several times. My goal is to layer the hearts so that the same color piece isn't always right next to the exact same color in another heart. I want to mix up the colors and have a little bit of all four colors in each cluster. Once I get these arranged, I'll put a few of these hearts up on foam tape, and a few others will just have some foam squares on one part of the heart to add a little bit of dimension if needed. While I'm fussing around, the story of these photos is that Michael and I started dating in 2020, 1 month before the world shut down. We really only got to go on a few normal dates out in the real world because in March, everything locked down. In these photos, it was a year later, once we were both fully vaccinated, and we finally got to go out into the world again and go on a normal date. By this time, we were engaged, and the first place we wanted to hang out was the venue where we would be married. We took these photos about 5 months before the wedding while we were planning out all of the details. And just a quick side note about our wedding, we got married in October of 21, and we weren't sure any of our friends and family would be willing to get on a plane to come to Florida. But we'd vastly underestimated everyone's desire to get out and do something fun, even during COVID, because everyone wanted to come. We ended up getting married on a Friday night so that everyone else could play in Orlando for the rest of the weekend. All right, so back to my hearts. I have them where I want them. I like how the journaling looks tucked into that little group of hearts. So I'm thinking I need to glue all of these down before I'm tempted to move them all again. So now my hearts are down and I've added my title. I used 2 different thicker sets. One is a wood grain that I thought would help bring the background up into the layout, which is something I like to do. The other alphabet is an older puffy set in a pale green color, which doesn't really look to be showing up on camera very well. It's time to add in these swirly die cuts. I wanted to add something that I could tuck into all of the layers of the hearts that would bring in more interest. And I think I can add 1 or 2 to help bring some attention to my title as well. What I like about these little swirls is that I haven't added something whimsical to a layout in a while. It's not the same old thing. I do use a lot of the same supplies over and over in my layouts. You know, enamel dots and word stickers and pattern papers and white cardstock. But I like variety, and once in a while, it's fun to bring in something completely different. I don't know about you, but I often have to remind myself to go through my slim metal dies and remember all of the things that I have. I've never really cataloged my dies and stamps because my collection isn't really all that big. I have a lot of stuff, but it doesn't take me that long to flip through things. But having said that, I still have to remind myself to actually go looking for the things. If you're the same way, here's your public service announcement to go digging in your tools and stamps for something different to use on your layouts. I have stamps in my stash that I don't use often enough. That's something I should probably do more in my videos, add in some stamping. I have washi tape that I don't often use. I should probably be adding washi tape to more of my layouts. I also have edge punches and other punches that I don't use much anymore. Not for any particular reason, other than I just need to take the time to bring them to my desk when I'm creating. At the same time, we can't do all of the things on every single layout. That's one of the reasons I like to scrapbook in different formats. These swirls work great on this design because of all of the repeating hearts lends itself to repeating the swirls over and over. If I was creating a simplified layout with clean lines and minimal embellishing, all of these swirls would probably feel out of place and wouldn't be the best option. The same is true if I had a 2-page layout with many photos. A lot of embellishment on a 2-page layout can actually distract away from the photos. But on this page, with these photos, these whimsical swirls add to the overall mood of the entire page, and it works. So now I'm adding in the little puffy flowers and enamel dots. The pack of puffy flowers is a good color match to my hearts, and this is a great pack because you actually get 2 sheets of stickers. Even though they are small, you get a lot of them. I've added the flowers in different places around the layout and ended up with a total of 7. I do try to add my embellishments in odd numbers whenever I can, but it's not always possible. For enamel dots, I added a group of 3 in the same color in one spot and then a group of 3 in another color in a different spot. You get the idea. And then I'll backtrack and add another one in a different color to each of the spots. Should I add a few more? Yes, of course. I need to sprinkle in a few more, and I'll add some by the title too. And then I couldn't help myself. I saw an empty spot and decided I needed one more green swirl above the blue and corduroy heart. I thought I was done with this layout, but after I finished filming, I looked back again and decided to add one more green swirl by the journaling. And then it still didn't feel finished, so I added some ink splatters in white and dark green, 3 tiny Bella Boulevard word salad stickers, and then I added the date with a roller stamp. You can see all of these extra details in the close-ups. And that is where I will call this one done. This is a fun, playful layout with repeating hearts and something different with the fun swirl die cuts. If you made it this far and would like to support my channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, or leave me a comment. My channel is growing and all of these interactions are a huge help. My Mixed Hearts collection is now available in my shop along with a sketch of my completed layout. The sketch is a free download. Click the links in the description box below to check it out. See you next time.